you gotta take it day by day, and go from there. So I think the only focus that I am is every single time we on the right path, keep going. And if there's something that happens in that time, it's okay. Just like focus on fixing it and keep going. So that's my mentality. I understand the situation that I'm in, and it's just taking it day by day, and just listen to the body.
Joel, going back to the ESPN story for a minute here, that was maybe as open as you've been with anyone in your career, I guess. What motivated you and inspired you to be so open for that?
I'm not sure. I think the background of, the story, I felt like I didn't do it to put my story out there. I felt like, from the first conversation, I felt like it was genuine. Whether it was positive and negative or negative, I felt like, for the first time, it wasn't about trying to get clicks off me. It wasn't about trying to find a quote to put it out there that's going to, make you famous or whatever. I just felt like, I knew what would have come, what was coming with it. I knew positive could be positive. I knew it could be negative. But I liked the in-depth reporting that was going on and the questions. So from there, that's what I like. Even talking to you guys, like, there's a few of these guys that I've known you guys for a long time, and, I appreciate the work that you guys do. And, but that's what I like about it. There's a few of you guys that also, do the terrible job of just, trying to get famous and get the clicks and, trying to pick at, each, some of the quotes or whatever, which is okay. We all have a job to do. I don't blame, those people. But then again, there's, also a few of those guys, of you guys that try to do as good of a job as possible and, tell the whole story. Not to try to make me look good or make me look bad, but to report it, the way it is. And, I just liked it. I just appreciate it, that, someone kind of, and to me, when I do this, like even talking to you guys, I don't necessarily have to give these long answers. I could just give a one-word answer. But to me, like I always feel like I'm helping you guys. And, if you're willing to do your job correctly, then, I'm willing to work with it. And I'm going to put myself in a position to help you guys. So, that's the way I felt.
Hey, Joel. The other thing in the ESPN story was talked about your relationship with Jameer Nelson and how he's kind of helped you.
I don't have a relationship with him.
None at all? No. I was just curious what he's kind of meant for you, and obviously his experience being a former player, some of the stuff he's gone through, what he's meant to you being here.
Jameer has been great, obviously, former player. He's from Philly. He's been, here for now a few years. He's done a good job of, just doing a good job. And obviously, he got promoted. Now he's going to have a big part, kind of like on the team with the players and everything. So I think, especially as a former player, it's good to, see, those guys succeed. But, yeah, I think, you can relate to him. He played. He knows how it goes. He's been at this level. He's gone places. So I think, he's done a great job.
Hey, Joel. How you doing? You just mentioned wanting to have consistency with your health and your availability.
Yeah.
Have you thought about any ways that you can change the way that you play when you are on the court that can help you preserve that health and be available more consistently?
That's tough. you know, yeah, I mean, think about it, but then again, you know, at times you can't get out of yourself. You know, all I know is, you know, ever since I started is to play hard, play both ends. There's a lot of people in the league, you know, that play, you know, one side, whether it's offense and defense. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, for me, my mentality is to do whatever it takes to win. And, you know, for, you know, all of my career actually has been having to do both. You know, there's some guys that I actually do a lot offensively and, you know, take plays off defensively, and there's some guys that I actually, you know, be the best defenders and, you know, kind of like chill in the corner. And I don't blame them. You know, I get, you know, I've gotten to this point because of, you know, how good I am on both ends of the floor. So if you ask me to, you know, change the way I play, is, you know, the only guess that I have is, you know, either play, you know, offense fully and take plays off defensively, which, you know, doesn't suit me. You know, I don't think I would ever be okay with that. So I don't know. I think we'll just wait and see. But yeah, I mean, if it's got to be that way, it's definitely gonna be an adjustment. But I don't see that happening.
Joe, you might be the only guy in the organization we haven't talked to about VJ this offseason. Obviously, you know the pressure that comes with being a top 3 pick like he is. How much have you talked with him, worked with him, and what have your impressions of him been so far?
Oh, I like him a lot. Obviously, I've talked to him a lot. And, you know, even before, like even as soon as we drafted him, I just knew I would like him. I like his background. Kind of reminds me of myself, you know, coming from another country and, you know, having a lot of hardships growing up. And, you know, and he's an amazing kid so far. So, yeah, but, you know, it's been good, you know, having him around, you know, talking to him, kind of trying to help me. I feel like I'm at a stage of my career where, you know, obviously I know the job I have to do. I still, you know, have to be the guy, but, you know, but I'm also at a stage where I can help a lot of, you know, these young players that are coming in, whether it's him, you know, Jared, or some of the young guys that we've had. You know, I've been in that situation with Tyrese, and I'm extremely happy, and I'm so proud of all the work that he's put in to get, you know, to this level. But he still has more to do, and he's going to do more. So, you know, I found myself in another situation where there's a bunch of other young guys, and, you know, it's my job, other than, you know, the job that I have to kind of show them the way, and, you know, for them also to learn from the mistakes that I've made, and, you know, kind of, you know, giving them more, and, you know, and let them figure it out how to, you know, live their life, and, you know, keep advancing with their career. So, you know, like, you know, yeah.
Joel, how important in a vacuum is this season for you guys as a team? And, you know, when you look at this roster, what do you think the ceiling is for the roster, and what do you guys have to do to actually accomplish that?
I don't know. I think I'm past the stage of focusing on ceilings. I think for me, it's taking it day by day, trying to get better every single day. Obviously, we know that for us is, the biggest thing is health. That's really the biggest thing. So, you know, focus on doing the right things every single day, and, you know, on the court, you know, we have a pretty, you know, I know it's the same team as last year, but, you know, we got a lot of talent on the court. So it's all about putting it together. But you can't put it together if, you know, everybody's not on the same page and it's not healthy. So, you know, the main focus is just taking it day by day, and just be with each other.
the season, the start of the season, the opening night, all of that stuff. All I can do is just focus on doing that day after day, taking it one day at a time. I do, think I will be at a good place, hopefully earlier than later. But just as far as my body, I do feel better. I do feel good, a lot better than I did last year, which is saying a lot because, I was dealing with a lot last year, trying to play through a lot of stuff, which I just couldn't get over the hump. So it is great to be in a better place to go into the season.
Hey, Paul. How you doing, first of all? Secondly, obviously last season is what it is. Injuries, stuff you weren't able to really control. How much of last season do you really kind of look at as motivation and be like, hey, we can't have another season like last year, again, going into this year?
Yeah. Last year was tough, one of the toughest seasons I've been a part of, not just from a team standpoint, but just from a personal standpoint. But, again, I'm from a motivational standpoint, can't get no worse than last year, right? That was a rock bottom kind of season. I think it was a disappointment personally for myself. And obviously from the fans here. But I do think it's a lot to look forward to. We've been leaning on one another. We've been, I've been here for about 2-3 weeks now, been in the gym every day, been in the weight room every day. And you look around and it's 12, 13, 14 other guys here as well, 3 weeks before the season started. So I think that alone stands out to guys are committed to getting better. We're hungry. And guys look good. I've watched the work that they've all put in. So, the motivation is there. We're just hanging on one another, man. We are excited of what's to come. But we're definitely, taking it one day at a time of just stacking good days.
Hey, Paul. Right here in the middle. You mentioned just playing through a lot last year. I mean, you were even getting injections at one point to be able to go. Have you reconsidered your approach at all as far as when you'll try to grind it out and when you'll maybe be a little more cautious moving forward?
Yeah. I'm not a doctor. But, I think just trusting my body, trusting the process going into this season, the team is allowing me to kind of be as 100 as possible because, that's what I signed up for. That's what they signed me for, is to come in and be the Paul George that they went out and recruited last summer. And so for me to do that, I do got to be healthy. And, that's really it. Again, I'm putting the work in. I'm putting the time in. I'm seeing the progress. I'm feeling more and more like myself each day. And that's the most important thing as the dates are winding down, getting into the season to start. So I like where I'm at. I like, how we've progressed things. And that's the only way I can look at it right now.
Over here. This team obviously has quite a bit of young talent as well now. I'm just curious sort of what you feel your role is as far as helping, whether it's guys like Jared or this new rookie class, the younger pieces on this team, like what you can do to help their development, whether that's on the court or off the court.
Yeah, I think just continue to be a leader. I think this year is a better role for me coming into this. I know the situation. I know where I'm needed at. I know, I'm comfortable within the locker room, within the coaching staff, the front office, and what role I can play as a veteran and a leader in developing our young guys and getting them as prepared as possible. I've, been able to kind of talk, and again, I've been here for 3 weeks. VJ's been in here every day. Jared's been in here every day. JB's been in here every day. So I've been around those guys. I've seen their work. I've seen, how them, getting better on a daily basis and just giving teaching points here and there. Justin as well, been in here every day. So, I had a great convo with Nick. 2 days ago on, just teaching the trades, the trick of the trades that I've been taught and through experiences in games of what I've learned and picked up. And, he's counting on me. He's relying on me to kind of help the young guys, whether it's working on how to get open or defensive concepts or, just being in the right places. He's counting on me to kind of be another voice to kind of help the young guys. So, that means a lot to me for Coach to have that trust in me to kind of help the young guys out.
Hey, Paul, over here. I was going to ask a similar question, so it's kind of a follow-up. Last year you came, basically the idea was to be, I think it was fair to say, sort of the final piece on a championship contender. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the role here sort of, I guess, do you see a role more as veteran mentors, kind of what it sound like, as opposed to that? Is there a way to do both? I guess, how are you kind of approaching the season?
I think it's everything. Again, getting healthy. The Paul George that the 76ers went out and signed. I do think I still got a lot of game in me. Playing at a high level, like that's still who I am. I got to get healthy to get to that point, but I won't be, I don't think, a part of camp going into it, but I do have a voice in being a part of the team to help the young guys and kind of touch that point early on into the season to start out. So I guess to your question is being both. I plan on being both.
Paul, you kind of already touched on it, but just last year was pretty chaotic, recruiting and then moving your family across country, all that. Mm-hmm. I guess just is there more of a comfortability in general here for you, being settled in and knowing what's asked of you?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year was just a lot in limbo, and the decision to come to Philadelphia was kind of late. No excuses to none of it, but it is nice to kind of know what we're doing. Kids are taken care of. We know what school they're going to be at. We know what area we're going to live in. We know what house that we're going to stay at. So kind of all of that stuff is taken care of going into a season. So to kind of start off with, kind of know things pulling me in different directions is a great start to the season. And again, having a year under my belt, building relationships here with the guys, still the same coaching core for the most part, roster core for the most part. So, just another year of us being together, of us talking, of us hanging out, I think will definitely be more beneficial.
Paul, kind of along those same lines, injury is obviously the biggest problem last year, but for you, how challenging was finding a way to fit in with this group, and do you feel more prepared for that going into this season?
Yeah, I definitely feel more prepared going into it this season. Again, talking with Nick, better understanding of the fit, the role. But, again, last year was just challenging. It was just challenging trying to, play at 80-85% the whole time while still learning a new system, new offense, new players, coach differently. It was rough. It was a tough year. But I think, again, going into this season, the understanding of where I'm at, what to expect, and, it's just, with anything, over time you'll get better. You'll understand. You'll develop the style of where you're at. I do think I'm off to a better start going into this year.
What's up, Paul? You said you don't think you'll be a part of the start of training camp. What are you able to do at this particular time?
I'm pretty much everything but full contact. I'm in the weight room. I'm lifting, working out every day. I'm on the court. Not ready to start the full ramp up of conditioning on court with running and stuff like that. But I'm on the court. I'm working out. I'm, doing stationary drills, 1 to 2 dribble moves. I'm still able to move and be active on court, just not ready to be a full-on contact participant right now.
Is there a timeline for that, or there like a next stage you have to reach before you can get to being full contact?
Yeah, I think, just, again, continue to slowly progress, ramp up. There's been no swelling. Actually, the swelling's been going down as I've been ramping up, so that's the best possible news. But, I don't think there's a timeline. It's kind of just, how the body is doing as we're ramping up the work. And, again, if no swelling is showing up, then we're kind of in a good place to kind of see where I'm at there and be evaluated.
Paul, you mentioned talking with Nick about your role. Last year you played quite a bit of the 4. I'm just curious, is that something you've talked about doing with Nick? Is it something you're open to doing, comfortable doing, whatever sort of lineup combination that ends up being?
Yeah. If you asked me about this 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been a fan of it. But today's game, man, there's not, real 4s like they used to be. So, and at this point in my career, let the young guys, go out, play the wing positions. We got great defenders in KO, VJ, Quentin, so, and then, again, I know where I'm at in my career. I can adjust and play at the 4 spot, give extra, ball handling on the floor, better spacing, so I'm very comfortable playing at the 4 spot this year, with being kind of a point forward type of style in Nick's offense. So I'm comfortable with it this year.
Thank you, DG.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Okay. Nah, I'm just playing. Come on. What's up? Y'all good? You have a good summer? Everybody? Y'all smiling? Y'all got good? All right, cool. It's pretty good, actually. Did some traveling. Did a lot, man. Got a couple new dogs. I got an arm sleeve on. What do you guys think about this? Yeah or nay? Yeah? Cool. Yeah, I had black, had the headband. All right. I'm ready, though.
Tyrese, on this day right here, we normally talk to you about, what did you work on in the summer and, kind of what was your focus going in. How much more difficult was that for you to figure out where to start when last year you guys never really got your feet under you? So anything you're facing is probably like, I don't even know how that applies moving forward. How difficult was it to figure that out, like what you were focused on this summer?
I mean, I ain't going to say it was too difficult. I played a good amount of games to where I can kind of get like a baseline of what I wanted to get better at. And then I also watched a lot of games to kind of know, okay, I need to add that, I need to add that, I need to add that. So it was pretty easy. I think the biggest thing for me was I just got a lot of work in, honestly, just because of the long summer. But it was really great, man. Last summer, not this summer, but last summer, I didn't get to start working out until like after contract, so it was a little weird. That's my first time kind of really doing that. But I feel really good, honestly, man. This summer I got to hit the ground early, hit it like May, and I'm just ready to start.
And we heard from Paul that basically the whole team has been here the last couple weeks, 2-3 weeks in the gym working together. How much time have you gotten to spend with VJ on the floor specifically? And I guess we've talked to you a little bit about how that might work, you two playing together, but what are your first impressions playing with him?
Yeah, VJ's a special talent. I think one of his talents that a lot of players don't really use is like how hard he plays, like on both ends of the floor, whether that's offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, guarding the ball, playing in transition. Those things are like little things that a lot of people don't do. So I think he's going to be really good at that. He likes to learn. He wants to get better. The sky's the limit for him. I actually spent a lot of time with him now that I'm thinking about it. Had a couple – what's up, man? How you doing, Drum? Did a couple workouts here, probably in, I think, August. Took them to, like, Disneyland in L.A. That was fun. Then I came back here. He's the type of guy that, like, he likes to work out. He likes to actually get in the gym and work. He's kind of like Jared. So I think those two are a good start to the culture that they were trying to build.
Tyrese, we know Joe is Joe and Paul is Paul, but you're also obviously a team leader here, and you're continuing to grow in that role, especially vocally. And you just talked about all the different excursions that you did, in the gym, out the gym with some of the younger guys this year. What are you really trying to accomplish in terms of growth as a leader this year for the Sixers?
I think the biggest thing that I'm trying to accomplish is, like, we need a standard. Like, this is who we are every single day, no matter who plays, no matter who doesn't play. When you see Philadelphia 76ers, this is what you see. You're going to see that team every single night. Every single time you turn the TV on, every single time you step foot in whatever arena that we're playing in, this is the team that you're going to get. And this is the type of culture you're going to get, and they're going to do this thing. They're going to do a certain thing a certain way every single night. I think that's the biggest thing. And then just, like, building a camaraderie and a brotherhood off the court, I think that's one of the biggest things that I've tried to do this summer. Justin was in Dallas a little bit, came to my house, you know what I'm saying? VJ, a couple guys are going to come to my house soon, you know what I'm saying? A couple out here. So it's just like, that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to build. If you have that friendship and that relationship off the court, I think when you get on the court, I've even started playing video games with the VJs, the Justins, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's going to help us a lot.
Tyrese, you mentioned Jared just now. First of all, the news about his thumb yesterday, I'm just curious what your reaction was to that and whether or not you've talked with him and generally your memory of playing with him last year. I know it was brief because you were both dealing with injuries, but what stood out to you about the time you shared with Jared in the backcourt?
Right, yeah, I definitely talked to him. I feel for him, man. He's coming back from, I think, his knee meniscus injury, and he's worked his tail off to get where he is today. But the thing about Jared is he's a positive person. He works extremely hard, so he'll be back extremely soon, and I know he'll get 100% healthy. And like you said, the time that I played with him in the backcourt is great. I mean, Jared does a lot of things that a lot of teams really would like. You know what I'm saying? Like, he shoots the ball well. He passes the ball pretty well. He competes on defense. He's going to do all those different things, and he's a great teammate. So we just needed him. We want him to get back healthy, and can't wait to have him back out there.
Hey, what's going on, Reese? How are you? Obviously, you've known Joe better than anybody really like on this roster. I mean, obviously, we've seen videos and photos of him working out with you guys, things like that. What have you kind of seen from Joe and just being able to work out with him a little bit recently?
Like you said, Joe is Joe. I know Joe, and it's just good to see him able to move around and play basketball because at the end of the day, he loves doing it. He's extremely competitive, so I'm just happy for him. Yeah, barely. Your mic don't work. You got to get up and yell.
So correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think like last year it seemed like not knowing if Joel was in the lineup seemed to drain wearing you guys a little bit. Joel saying that he's feeling better this year, but he also, I think, used the word unpredictable. I guess my question is, what did you learn from last year? Can you guys succeed if there's some unpredictability with him, whether he's in the lineup or not? Or what did you learn from last year in terms of how to deal with that?
That kind of goes back to what I said at the beginning. Like, we're trying to create an identity to where no matter who plays, whether I'm not playing, Joe's not playing, Jared's not playing, Paul's not playing, whoever, it doesn't matter. VJ, I can go down the whole list. The 76ers are going to play this way every single night. No matter who's out there, we're going to compete. We're going to play hard. We're going to play that's what we're going to do. And that's what it has to come down to. So now it's not we got to rely on one thing and, okay, you're not playing. We got to change our whole thing. No, we're going to play the same way every single night. And, of course, it's little stipulations. So when Joel plays, then, of course, they're going to double. They're going to do those different things. But, like, our base needs to be the same every single night. I think that's the biggest thing that we've been working on.
Tyrese over here. You were pretty candid last year about how the season sort of wore on you mentally at certain points. I guess maybe looking back on that experience now, like what did you learn from that to then make sure that doesn't happen again just when the ebbs and flows of the season kind of arrive?
I learned a lot. I changed a lot. I feel like the biggest thing that I've done just personally for myself is like I've started like really focusing in on like mental health of for myself just as like I said, I've never lost in my career, so it was good for me to go through that and like also become like a better leader in that and like leading the young guys and leading the team and just kind of keeping everybody positive. This year we definitely plan on being better, and we've been working our tails off to be better. I think for me, like I said, like it's gotten me into a point to where like I journal a little bit more, I read a little bit more. I've done like some different things this summer to like keep my mental health and keep my spirits in the correct place. So because my spirits have to be high for this team and for this organization and for my game as well. So I think that's what I'll do. Make sure I do this year, and we'll be better.
Are you the one preaching that message about standard culture? I mean, you're kind of the veteran of the young group of guys, I guess you could say. I mean, is that coming from you?
I think it's going to come from all of us, honestly. I mean, definitely I'll be one that's speaking up a lot more. I have just been a lot more vocal on things that I see and things that I want to try to help fix. And that's just not because I'm older. I think it's more because, like, I want to win. I think everybody here else wants to win. And I also want to be like, I want to do things the right way. You know what I mean? And I think when you do things the right way, you get rewarded. So that's what we're trying to implement, and that's what we've been trying to do, and I think that it'll help us in the long run.
Speaking of winning, you guys, I mean, this time last year we're asking you guys about contending for a title, and I don't think that's come up once yet. The East is wide open, but people are kind of looking at you guys as almost rebuilding. Do you think this team can win with or without Joel and Paul and
I think the biggest thing that this team and this organization needs to work on is ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got to focus on ourselves and focus on getting better every single day. I know I said this so many times since I've been here. Y'all probably tired of me saying it, but it's a real thing, especially with the younger guys that we have. The Justins, the Bonas, the VJs, the Jared. Those guys have never played playoff basketball. So right now we're just trying to find ways to get better every single day, make sure the culture's right, make sure everything that we do is right, and make sure that we're all stepping in the right direction. If we're all stepping in the right direction, who knows what's possible, you know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing that we're trying to do. We've been working our tails off all summer. Guys been in the gym, guys been in the lab, and then even this fall, I think guys been working really hard. So, hey, we got to go out there and play now.
Tyrese, I know it's not going to be this way because Quentin's not here, Jared's down, but with the talent you guys have at guard, it seems like 3-guard lineups might be a thing that kind of happens more. I guess for you, how do you see that kind of playing out, and how do you personally try to kind of make sure it works with all 3 guards being on the floor at times?
I think the biggest thing is you got to be unselfish. You have to have an open mind. I'm going to give a shout-out to Coach Calipari just because I played in a lot of 3-guard lineups in college. So coming from high school, I played on the ball. Then you get to college, and, it's 3 guys that can have the ball, who can push it at all times. That just really helps, especially when you have dynamic shooting, dynamic playmaking, guys who can play off the catch, play off closeouts, and guys who can attack the paint. When you can attack the paint and kick out to some of your teammates who can also attack the paint and kick out and make plays, it makes you more dangerous.
Tyrese, is there a specific area of growth that you can have in your individual game this year? I mean, I know one of the goals of a player is to try to come back with something new every year. Is there something that you've identified, or is it just kind of all encompassing for you?
Yeah, it's definitely a few things that I want to come back and be better at, but I just want to be better overall. You know what I'm saying? From the get-go, from the jump. I think towards the beginning of the season, I feel like I started slow last year. Like I said, I got a slow start to my summer working out. It's my first time really kind of going through that. This summer I started, hit the ground running like I normally do. I feel way better. Body feels better. Mind feels better. Just want to hit the ground running for my teammates and try to help them, kind of lead them along and not just lead by my voice, but lead by my example on the court. That's the biggest thing that I want to try to get a fast start at. And I have some things in mind. I had some things in mind over the summer that I really worked on, and we'll see if they come to light.
Tyrese, VJ is someone who's, for a lot of his basketball life, had the ball a lot, and now he's joining a roster with a lot of guys that are ahead of him in that pecking order, and it's sort of similar to the situation you entered into 6 years ago now. What advice would you – I know.
Why did you have to do that?
What advice would you have for VJ in terms of how he can, impact winning even if he doesn't have the ball as much, and how to assert himself, within the construct of an NBA team?
Well, honestly, it's a different circumstance. If I'm being honest, I think when I got to the league and I yes, I was used to having the ball in my hands, but I also knew I was going to have to play a certain role on the team. I think for him, one being drafted high like that, we're going to ask him probably to play on the ball or something too. You know what I mean? I exclusively my rookie year, I barely played on the ball. You know what I'm saying? I played with Ben, played with Joe, played with Shake, played with a lot of different guys. You know what I'm saying? George Hill was in there with me a lot. But we're going to ask him. It's going to be times where I'm in the game with VJ and he's going to be bringing the ball up. He's in the game with Jared. We all got to share the wealth, I feel like, and I think that makes us more dangerous. I think that would make us better, honestly, because it changes dynamics. You can attack from different angles. Now you got guys off the ball. You got me, Jared, him playing off closeouts. I think it would be better for us.
Hey, Tyrese, there's a difference between kind of being the primary scoring option and the secondary scoring option, and the attention that you get from defenses and stuff like that. Was there anything you learned last year, kind of being in that position as much as you were, and is there anything you could do this offseason to kind of work on, playing in that role?
Definitely. I think so look, I'm going to explain it to you just like this. When I got to late December, January, I feel like I kind of started really figuring out how to manipulate the game, manipulate defense. I think y'all can see that in my production. Now, I'm going to tell the jokes. Don't nobody laugh. My rookie year through my third year, I used to get so angry at Joel sometimes when he'd be getting double teamed, and I'm like, bro, I'm wide open. And he's like, bro, I can't see you. Then people started double teaming me, and I said, people were like, bro, I'm open. I said, trust me, I really can't see you. So but no, it's definitely I got a lot of film on it, so I got a lot of time to work on it, and I do feel a lot more confident in it, and I think it'll work out well for us.
How do you work on that in a workout situation?
I have a lot of friends, a lot of good friends that I've been friends with in high school, and anytime that I go to Dallas when I'm in LA, sometimes they can help me out a little bit. You know, they get free trips to LA so they can do some work.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
What's up? Goddamn, smile a little bit. Shit, it's a good day. What's up? What's up? Y'all good?
We're good.
All right. What's going on?
Andre, first of all, just over here. How are you feeling? Obviously, the toe was bothering you for much of last season. You seemed confident at exit interviews that you were going to be able to work through that this offseason. So I guess where are you at? Are you a full go, mobility-wise? How is everything going there?
Yeah, it was a good summer for me. I did all the necessary things I needed to do to build the strength back in my foot, and I'm 100% a go, and I've looked great during camp, and I'm ready.
Hey, what's up, Dre?
What's up, man?
How you been, man? You been all right?
How are you?
Good, man.
How was your summer?
It was good, man. I had a good summer.
Nice.
My man. Absolutely.
Congrats.
But thank you. But first of all, for you, I just want to get your thoughts on adding VJ. I know you're kind of big on like mentorship and bringing young guys in. Just what are your kind of initial thoughts on VJ and what he's been able to do on the floor?
You know, the first day I saw VJ, I was instantly impressed because the first thing he did, he just asked me a bunch of questions. He even asked me how my day was. He's like, yo, what do you think about this, big bro? Like, how do you feel about this? Like, he's a kid that wants to soak up knowledge. And he's a gifted athlete, and he is very, very good. I think he's going to be very good for us. I'm excited for what's to come. And I think my favorite thing about him is his confidence. He's super confident. I think just mainly because he played with the national team as well, too. He kind of has that grown man experience, too. So he's going to be good for us.
If I could just follow up, I know last season was last season. Injured stuff you can't control, injuries, things like that. I'm curious, like, how much of last season do you use as motivation, you know, going into this year, being like, hey, we can't have another season like last year?
Yeah, I'm definitely beyond motivated. I feel like I let myself down. I let this city down too, and this team, and I took that personal. So I'm ready to play. I'm healthy, and I think my teammates can attest to the same thing.
Dre, over here. What's going on?
Hi.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Good. I guess just you mentioned you did a lot of things to obviously strengthen that toe back up in the off season. What does one do to like strengthen a big toe? I'm just curious.
Honestly, I didn't know there was such thing as toe yoga. So I've been doing a lot of toe yoga this summer to really just get that strength back in my big toe and being able to move it freely without, you know, having to tape it to, you know, get it to do what it's supposed to do. So if you don't know what it is, look it up. It's definitely not a fun experience, but it worked out for me.
Once you were able to get back on the court, I guess what were some of the focuses just in getting yourself back ready to play a role on this team?
Yeah, I think the most difficult part was kind of just pushing through that first week of, you know, just the soreness and the pain. But once I built that strength back and was able to get that pop back, that mobility and athleticism back that I normally have, it was off to the races. So I had a great summer, and camp has been great for me so far, too.
Dre, you and Kelly, as vets, you play such a crucial role in helping out some of these younger guys continue to learn and grow and kind of setting that tone. Tyrese just talked about everybody setting that tone for what the Sixers are going to be this season. How are you trying to kind of show that by example to some of these younger guys this year?
Well, I was, I think, 2 days late to our preseason camp, and when I got back here, we've been playing pickup with no fouls. So I learned the hard way coming back. So I think the intensity and the toughness is being built right now. I think it's going to surprise a lot of teams, too, just the way that we play now. I'm not going to say anything. Obviously, it's not something I want to share, but I think our new style of play is going to be very good for our team. And I'm really looking forward to playing against somebody else and not beating up my own teammates.
And just to follow up on that quickly, I know you mentioned VJ specifically, but any of these other youngsters really kind of showing off that toughness already, impressing you?
Yeah, Janai Broom has been great, too, the other draftee that we had. Bona looked great. Obviously, he's had time to play game speed in Turkey, so that doesn't count. I'm not giving him that. But he looks amazing. He's come back. He's a lot stronger. He's faster. Apparently, he's jumping 2 inches higher than he did last year. Not that he needed that, but he's looking more athletic. So I think he's gonna be a very big help for us this season too.
Right now, it's a little murky because Quentin's not here, obviously, and Jared's banged up. But as a veteran who's seen a lot of different lineups and played with a lot of different guys, what is kind of the key for you in your role to make like a 3-guard lineup work, where maybe the lineup skews a little bit smaller?
Honestly, that's not my decision. That's up to Nick Nurse on who he decides to play and what combination works. For me personally, I just know whenever my number is called, I just have to be prepared and know what I need to do to help this team win at all costs.
Dem, I remember you this time last year talking about how you wanted to take him under your wing, and
Right.
I think at interviews talking about how proud you were of his growth. Just how much have you seen him grow and develop between where he was last year at this time to now, and just whether that's on the court or mentally, confidence-wise, just what have you seen as far as his evolution?
Right, and it's just that I think there was nothing wrong with the Dem's game. It was more so his confidence. And I think now that he's had the experience of a full season, him playing in the Olympics and him coming back now, I can see it's a night and day. His confidence is high. He doesn't think twice when he gets the ball. He knows exactly what he wants to do. Defensively, he's more aware. So again, like I said earlier, I think he's going to be a very big help for us this season.
Andre, at this point in your career, do you have any individual goals like heading into a new season, or is it just all about like the team goals and what you could do to help the team, or do you go in with like some individual goals for yourself too?
Individual goals is just winning. Winning is like my main goal at any cost, whether it's helping the young guys or being out there to help our team win on the floor. So whatever my team needs me to do, I'm prepared to do it. Individually, it's just not letting myself down.
Going into this season, it's kind of like similar like last year. You have Joel injured, coming back from injury. The same thing with PG. Now you have Jared down, and you have Quentin going into like a contract situation. What's the mindset with the team heading into this season with all that stuff looming?
I think the mindset is we control what we can control. We can't control Quentin not being here. We can't control Joel coming back from an injury. We can't control Paul George coming back from an injury. We only can control with the guys that we have on the floor right now, and we've been doing great. And we're excited to have them back when that time is, but we could only do what we can do, which is worry about the guys that are here now. I think for us, it's one step at a time. I think it's just building that chemistry, building our camaraderie back, really getting a good flow and a good rhythm together as a team, stringing together some wins. And if winning championships and winning conference finals and winning the NBA Cup are things that come along with it, we're more than willing and more than excited to do that, but we're taking everything a day at a time.
Hey, Andre, back here. The playing with no fouls, did you find out whose idea that was, and how messy does it get? Or who?
You know what? I didn't ask, and I still need to ask whose idea that was, because, one, nobody texted me about that, because I would have came in with a different mindset. I'm thinking we're just going through plays and we're trying to catch a rhythm. I'm getting my ass beat out there. I'm like, damn, is anybody calling any fouls? There's no whistles, no whistles or nothing. We're just playing. So for me, I love that kind of stuff. So it took me a day to adjust. But for me, to see like certain guys in our team play that way, I'm like, yeah, this is what we needed right here. We needed this type of game and type of atmosphere, because it gets messy. It gets very messy. I mean, obviously not to see, seeing Jared go down, that's not the best thing to happen, but it's a part of the game when you play tough.
Who's the most aggressive in taking advantage of the
Him.
lack of rules? Him?
Him, yeah, he definitely took full advantage of the no foul game. Thanks, guys.
What's up, BJ, over here? First, very serious question for you. Tyrese Maxey revealed that you guys went to Disneyland this summer. I'd like to know how that was.
Yeah, Reese took us out, made me wear like some goofy hat. Had no choice, but overall it was great. Get to know him, great person overall. So yeah, we enjoyed it.
Yeah, I guess serious question now on the court. Just since Summer League, since we last saw you on the floor, just where do you feel like your game has grown the most or progressed the most? What were sort of the focal points of what you were really trying to focus on sort of in the latter part of the summer?
Oh, hey, buddy.
I asked him about Disneyland Reese already. I asked him about Disneyland already. What did he say? He said you made him wear a goofy hat. Is that true?
No, I'm going to make him wear it again when we go in on that.
But to answer your question, overall I feel like I've grown a lot in every aspect of the game. Just becoming a better player in general, both offensively and defensively. Been working a lot on my shooting, finishing, playmaking. So, like I said, I feel like I've grown a lot everywhere.
VJ, Tyrese and Dre just talked about the approach this year for you guys. You know, that toughness. You weren't here last year, so maybe you don't see the difference necessarily between what they're saying. Dre was talking about, the physicality in, no fouls being called, stuff like that. How do you feel that focus on toughness really kind of brings out the best of your game naturally?
I only can speak for myself on. I'm comfortable out there. I'm used to a physical game. Like that's stuff I strive off of. I strive off being physical. But overall, like you said, the intensity's been high. It's been physical in practice. So. Yeah, but I feel like it's all going to make us better, help us, connect more on the floor also. It's going to help build chemistry, so yeah.
Hey, VJ. Andre just said to us that he was impressed. You ask a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
What are some of the main things you've been curious about, and what have you learned from the vets this offseason?
Yeah, for me it's just, I would say when it comes to just like the fouls or physicality, like what is legal, what is not legal. It's a different game from college. So I'm just trying to learn the rules, stuff like that. That's why I ask a lot of questions, especially like if I'm like trying to box him out on the rebound or something like that. Like just little things like I'm just trying to learn. So I just ask questions to everybody, literally anyone I ask. Justin questions, Jared, Tyrese, everybody. So like I said, I'm just trying to get better.
VJ, obviously you'd rather have Quentin here and you'd rather have Jared healthy, but do you see an opportunity for yourself to maybe have some more opportunities, whether it's on the ball or whether it's kind of a bigger part of the offense?
I'm going to do whatever Nurse needs me to do, whatever the team needs me to do. Praying for Jared, hope he get healthy real soon. And the Quentin situation, I don't know anything about it. So, like I said, I'm just happy to be here.
Some people try to pump the brakes for expectations on guys like yourself. Tyrese, his rookie year, he didn't play a ton. Jared kind of worked himself into some minutes last year, especially with kind of 3 or 4 guards. How do you approach it mentally? I mean, do you go into a season thinking, I'm gonna earn minutes, or do you go into it thinking like, I have to lower my expectations?
No, I just go in with a mentality to win. And whatever I have to do, showcase, I would do. But at the end of the day, they're my teammates. And we're all on the same team. We all have one goal, and that's to win. So, whatever that plays a part in, I'll do.
Hey, VJ, over here. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
We just saw Kyle Lowry over here. I'm just curious what your relationship has been like with Kyle so far, and how much you're looking forward to learning from someone who's in year 20 in the NBA.
Yeah, he can teach me a lot. He spams a young buck. That's my name, Tim. So, I learned a lot. My locker's right next to his. So, he gonna see me a lot all year. So, I guess I'm just excited to learn from someone that has so much experience within the game. Someone that has so much knowledge. I just want to pick his brain as much as I can. He keeps it real at all times. So that's the main thing. You just want someone that keeps it real with you. He's not going to sugarcoat anything, so I respect it. And I respect him a lot.
VJ, I saw recently that I think it was a commercial with you and Dwayne Wade, or you guys had a photo shoot or something like that.
Yeah.
Was that your first interaction with him? And I know he's a guy that people compare you to. And what was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely my first time meeting him. Yeah, he's a great person. I've seen him before, but he obviously didn't see me. But to actually meet him for the first time, someone I looked up to, my whole life, especially in the basketball world, it was like a kid moment for me. You know, it's like my inner kid coming out so it's just smiles and all that. But he's a great person. You know, he tell me anytime I need something, reach out or any advice or anything like that. Like you said, I be compared to him a lot. You know, but that's how I learn from everybody. And I just try to take bits and pieces of his game. So yeah.
Also, noticed summer you talked about you wanted to, work on playing on the ball, as a point guard, and also, attempting more threes and stuff like that. Did you work on your body, getting prepared for the NBA? And if so, did you bulk up? Did you gain any weight? Anything like that?
Yeah, I gained a little weight. But yeah, I've been in the weight room with the strength and conditioning staff, and I mean it's been great. I've been getting stronger, getting faster, jumping a little higher. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure my body's prepared for the 82 games season. I'm at like 195, between 195 and 200. Like 190, but I was bouncing between 185 and 190.
VJ, obviously you haven't had training camp or preseason yet, but you have had the summer league and the off-season work that you can do with your teammates. Have you had any conversations with Daryl, with Nick about what to expect as a rookie in terms of your role or what their goals are for you?
No, not really. Coach just want me to go out there and perform. Give great effort at all times I'm on the floor, and whatever happens from there happens. So they ask me anything.
Hi, VJ. So we know this is your first year with the NBA and also with Sixers, transitioning from college basketball to professional basketball, which is definitely very exciting. So wondering how is your integration to the team so far? We heard you went to Disneyland, but also what has been your quote-unquote welcome to the NBA moment so far?
That's a good question. Probably in practice, I got hit with one of Trump's screens. That's probably my welcome to NBA moment, getting hit by Drum. So yeah. No problem.
Everyone should know my name. Everyone knows my name. Kyle Lowry. This should not take long. Brandon Chin. Hey, y'all congratulate Brandon with his raise. He got a raise too, so he got a little bit more money. Why you turning red, man? Why? He got a new job, so you guys can get him a little, and he make him. Yeah, good job. Congratulations, Brandon. Everybody, give him a hand. All right. Tom, that's the greatest back there. That's the GOAT right there.
Kyle.
Lowry.
Yes. Your new job. How did that come together? How exactly is that going to work? Balancing your broadcasting with playing and.
You said putting?
Playing.
I thought you said putting. My bad. Still in golf mode. My bad. It came about. I think the Amazon team. Shout out to Amazon. I think they're looking for a new way to teach the game, and it just shows the ability that a current player can do both, and not just play basketball. Draymond Green was one of the first to start doing this, and some guys. I know C.J. McCollum has done this before, and I think it came about. It just they wanted to get me, I guess, and I wanted to work with them, and it won't be a hard balance this year. So I won't be in studio this year. I'll still be working on my full-time job, and that's helping lead the Sixers to new heights again. And but I'm looking forward to sharing the game and sharing my knowledge of the game and how I see the game from the future of Amazon Prime, and being a part of the ground up team. I'm looking forward to that.
Kyle, pretty straightforward question. Year 20.
Yep.
What keeps you motivated to keep doing this? Other than you love basketball, right? But to get up, lift weights, practice, do the whole thing every single day for another year.
I think just you said it, right? I love the game of basketball, and I have had the ability to play professional basketball for 20 years. In basketball my whole life, right? And you dream of playing basketball, and you wake up every day. You should still be motivated to play basketball, to enjoy your job. And I have some unbelievable teammates in Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Joel Embiid, Paul. I can go on and on and on, and I look forward to seeing them every day, and looking forward to sharing my knowledge with the younger guys and keep them learning and keep evolving them in their game and their lives and helping them as best I can. That's my motivation. I just want to continue to give what I've learned and what I've done, for the rest of, all I can. Hey, Reggie, ready? All right. Villanova's finest right there.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I got y'all Chick-fil-A. Yeah, okay. Brandon, you got them Chick-fil-A? That's what you did with your raise? Okay. Okay.
Kyle, first of all, man, you just mentioned.
Hold on, he didn't get no cheese, huh? You cheaped out on the cheese, 39 cents. A little cheap on the cheese sometimes. Okay.
Oh, true.
He said true.
You just mentioned a couple of those youngsters. I think you mentioned Jared and obviously VJ, which I saw up here. I mean, when you see these young group of guys, you just mentioned 20 years, you want to see these guys grow, I guess. What stands out to you the most, about this young group you're about to kind of look at this year?
I look at Tyrese as a young guy also. I just think they have this, we have really good young guys, and they have this just open and happiness and this spirit that's just like pureness, right? They love basketball. They want to work. They get in the gym early. They listen to the coaches. They listen to the small advices I give to them. Even a guy like Bona. Look what he just did. A silver medal for Turkey, in Eurobasket. That was an unbelievable experience for him. And these guys are just, they're looking forward to how to get better. A guy like Trendan Watford, he's bounced around a little bit, but now he's trying to figure out, he's starting to find his niche. These guys really want to play basketball, and they love the game of basketball, and they want to win at a high level, and get an opportunity to get paid for doing their job.
Kyle over here. What's up?
What's up?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You've obviously been so complimentary of Tyrese since you guys became teammates, but it sounds like he's been sort of one of the primary people sort of organizing workouts, whether it's here or even in Dallas or LA. Just how have you seen him continue to take those leadership steps, just, even this offseason?
Yeah, I think he's at that point. His maturation is getting there. I think he's starting to realize how good of a basketball player he's always known it, but like how good of a basketball player he is, but also how good of a leader he is. And once you start to put those two together, you know, it takes you to a different level of your believing in yourself abilities. You know, he's you know, you guys know him. He smiles all day. He's laughing all day. He's always happy. He's competitive as heck, right? And he wants to win. But bringing everybody together is an innate ability that he's starting to figure out that he has, you know, because he's really good at basketball, but he's also a really good person. So he can do that, and everyone respects him.
Kyle, have you, you know, knowing you started your journey at Doherty and obviously, you know, Villanova and, you know, played so many years for Toronto and, you know, you're here. You know, have you had a chance to kind of reflect on what basketball has meant to you, or is this kind of like, you know, a thing where you're just taking this year for what it is?
Day by day, just believing, just live in the moment. You know, you live in this moment because you don't know when it's going to be done. You don't know when it's going to be taken from you. You don't know when it's not going to be here anymore. So you just got to enjoy it. You know, I've been playing basketball professionally for 20 years. I've been playing basketball damn near my whole life. And I just live every single day for it. And, you know, whatever the future holds for me, whenever the future is, and whenever I get that chance, I'll look back and reflect on it.
Kyle, the hip injury for you was an issue throughout last year.
Yep.
Where is that at right now?
I feel great. I feel really good. You know, I think me being able to just be on the court to help these guys as best I can. But I know my role this year. So if I'm needed, I'll be there. But, you know, my role is to help these guys. You know, I would love to play whatever 25, 30 minutes, but that's not my role. It's not my job. And, you know, as a competitor, I understand, like, my job is to help these guys and this team, whatever capacity it takes, and that's what it is. So to answer your question, my hip feels great, and I'm looking forward to the start of camp tomorrow.
Kyle, last year I think everyone agreed didn't go as planned. I guess what can be done this year? Looking back on last year, what can be done that you guys can do differently? And do you feel any difference so far as you guys kind of get together? I
think you look at last year, you learn from it, right? You know, life is lessons, right? And last year was a lesson for our team, our organization, and I think where we are right now is I think their spirit's a lot better. You know, unfortunate injuries last year hurt us to start, but I just think our overall spirit, you know, where I think we're ready to, you know, embrace each other all the way, right? This is Paul's second year here. You know, I think everything he went through last year with his early knee injury, changing, coming from LA to here, everything changed for him. I think him and Joel being on the same page, him and Tyrese on the same page. You know, I think a year always, you know, the experience helps always.
Kyle, obviously they're bringing back the 2001 team uniforms this season, and as a Philly native, you were very young during those seasons.
I wasn't that young, but all right.
Fair enough. I
wasn't that young, but hey, man, thanks, I appreciate it.
No problem. I guess what is that like for you, donning that uniform that maybe you have some pretty fond memories of?
Man, I'm glad I'm able to be a part of that. I mean, I said it earlier. I wish they was like still the cutoff and a little bit more shiny and all that, but it's just the fact that year, you know, 25 years ago, you know, Iverson and Deke, God rest his soul, you know, Aaron McKee, E. Snow, Kevin Ollie, Jermaine Jones. My guy could go on and on, you know what I mean, because I know the team. But just being able to have that, you know, that be our city jersey is pretty cool this year. You know, my 20th year, that 25th year, it's just pretty cool for me personally. And I think, you know, the city is going to really be excited for it. You know, we should bring back hip-hop for a couple games. So, yeah, we're excited for it, though. I think it's great for the city.
Kyle, you talked about your love of basketball, 20 years, obviously incredibly impressive. It's one thing to love the NBA lifestyle. It's another thing to love basketball, to love the game. And then it's another thing to love the game to the level that you have and commit your life to it. How do you kind of instill to that next generation, the guys like VJ, you know, what you have to do to be able to accomplish that love for 20 years?
I think it's some words, but a lot of it's showing, right? You know, making sure that I continue to be on time, be early, lift weights, do extra cardio, get shots up, have a conversation with them, watch the film, you know, show them that it's not just God-given, it's some God-given talent, but it takes hard work to be able to play this long or to even stay in the NBA. You know, the NBA is not, you know, it's not given. You know, every single year there's 60 new guys drafted. And someone's coming trying to take your job. At the end of the day, it's still a job, so you got to put the extra work in. That was a great press. Anybody else? Oh, come on, Keith. Oh, come on, man.
Look, I got to ask you.
Y'all got your Chick-fil-A. I'm trying to go eat, bro.
Well, yeah, but you ain't going to eat Chick-fil-A.
No, you're right. I ain't. Nah, you're right.
But I just ask you this question. We talk about the mentorship, right? Mm-hmm. And typically when you look over your career, we're talking about 6-time All-Star, Olympic gold medalist, you won an NBA title. Sometimes guys get competitive to where it's like, look, I'm not trying to be a mentor. I'm trying to play. Where did that come from? Because I'm pretty sure that can be a tough transition at times.
I think I've always wanted to. All I care about is winning, and I think that's even from high school. Like from a kid, I just wanted to care about winning. Right. All the accolades I've done, that's in the past. I look back at it when it's time to look at it. But it's all about winning. If you're not winning, then what are we doing, right? I mean, of course we're providing for our families and we're creating generational wealth, but this is competition in all sports and all platforms. Competition is in us all. It's all in the human being. We all want to compete. For me, it's about competing and try to help and win. Yes, of course, I would love to be doing this and the other, but I know that these young guys are next. So all I want to do is support these young guys, and if they need me to get on the floor, I can be on the floor. But if they don't, I still want to compete to help us win because I want them to be able to create generational wealth. I want them to be able to have the accolades that I have. I want them all to be able to experience the championship high that I have had. You know what I mean? So that's where I feel like it's always just been in me, and then now I just understand it more. The older you get, you understand things more clear. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, Eric. Good to see you. How you doing?
Good seeing you.
I'm just curious, flat out, sort of what made returning to Philly what you wanted to do? What was it about the situation? Obviously, last year was difficult for everybody. What did you see in this situation that made you want to give it another shot here?
Well, yeah, last season left a bad taste in our mouths. It's hard to really talk about last season, but like I said, our team is very capable of doing something special. A lot of talent on this team. I think we could really piece it together if we can, hone in chemistry-wise. But, for me, to have a, dealing with a wrist injury that really put me out as I was getting in the groove before my wrist injury happens. And but at the end of the day, it left a bad taste in our mouths last season.
Eric, you just mentioned the wrist. Just how long did it take to get to a point where you felt like it was 100% healthy? And then I guess with that, then sort of how'd your off season go as far as like what'd you prioritize? How did you sort of go through your off season routine?
Yeah, I would say a couple of months. After the surgery, I was really able to shoot, so I've been able to shoot all summer. And anytime you have a surgery, you're always going to have ups and downs, but so far everything's been good. I'm looking forward to practice tomorrow and with no really limitations.
As far as a role, what are you looking to do this season? I mean, I know they talked, like you said before you left, you were shooting like 50% from three before you got injured. But also you have a guy like VJ Edgecombe, a young guy who you're extremely familiar with. I mean, are you looking at this more as a mentorship, or are you just trying to show people what you still have this season?
No, at my age, in my phase of my career, you have to mentor. Like, that's without a doubt. I've been around VJ the most. I've known him for quite a while. And, of course, I'm going to be looking forward to, helping not just him, but all the young guys looking forward. And but when I'm in the game, I have to do my part, knock down shots, spread the floor, let guys operate it, operate like on their own. But when I'm out there, I got to knock down shots, and I got to look forward to making things happen. Well, I would say it gives a lot of the younger guys more opportunity because those guys, Joel and Paul, they know how to play. And once we, hopefully before the season, we can get everybody, at full health at some point, playing more together. But always a good opportunity for the young guys.
Eric, you're showing all these younger guys how to really be a vet, how to succeed in the NBA as you have. But speaking back to VJ specifically, there's the parallels drawn between you two. Nick Nurse, drawn some similarities between you coming out of college and him now coming to the NBA. What is the level that you're specifically working with him, in terms of helping him get to that level, and what have you really seen from him so far?
Well, yeah, everybody knows he's an outstanding athlete. Like, you'll see it. I mean, he's one of the most athletic and gifted players in our game right now, and he'll showcase that. But for me, it's all the little things, shooting, because I really do. When he starts really knocking down that shot, it's going to open up doors for him to get in the lane as much as he wants. And early on in my career, I was very athletic going to the lane, but I've always been able to shoot. But as I got older, I shot the ball a lot more, and so, like with him, it's always good to see a couple good shots going in the game because athletically, he's going to be a problem.
Give me for one more VJ question. Just since you have known him for so long, just give us one of your earliest memories of like getting to know him or first seeing him play. And then when did you realize that he had the potential to be, a top 3 pick and to get to this level?
When I knew he was going to be a high draft pick is when we played together for the Bahamian national team a couple of years ago. And, superb athleticism, great kid, always looking forward to learning and trying to be the best. And he'll have his chance the way he keeps his, his attitude where it's at. And I think he's going to be a great player. And but early on, before then, I knew he would be really good. But when we were teammates in the Bahamian national team, I was like, he'll be here real soon.
Hey, Justin. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm curious how much more comfortable and confident you feel now than you did at this time last year, given all the reps you got as a rookie and the way you were able to establish yourself.
I feel a lot more confident, honestly. I know what they expect from me. I know what I have to do for our team and for myself. So, I feel a lot more confident going into, training camp and this season.
Justin, if we could just get a little, peek behind the scenes, behind the curtain, as it were. What went into the number change this offseason?
I feel like I had more control, honestly. Of course, I went undrafted last season, so I didn't have the opportunity to pick a number. So, now that I have, the control of changing my number, I felt like I wanted to change my number.
Personal affinity for it, or is there a backstory to it? Or anything?
Just wanted to change it.
Cool.
Justin, you talked a lot last year about wanting to get your body right for the NBA, for the 82-game haul. Just, I guess, what meaningful steps did you kind of take this offseason, and do you feel like you're in a better place to handle the 82 games this year?
Yes, I do, honestly. I've been making a lot of changes in the weight room. I've been attacking it hard every day. I gained a lot of weight. I'm at 215 right now. So, that's a comfortable weight for me right now, and that's something that I've, worked really hard to get to this offseason. So I'm proud of myself, honestly.
Hey, Justin, back here. Andre told us that you guys have been doing pickup games with no fouls. I'm curious, what that's been like. And do you know who started that, whose idea was?
No fouls?
Yeah, he said there's no fouls called.
I don't know.
Or
We
not?
just was in there. We just been hacking. We just been fouling, and they haven't been calling it. So it's just. I feel like it's just we need that honestly. Playing through fouls and just being tougher honestly.
What's up, Justin? Over here.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you. I know you've been working out a lot with Tyrese this summer, and it sounds like he's sort of been someone who's organized some stuff, whether it's here in Dallas or LA. Just can you describe what he is like in that type of like off-season scenario, and kind of how his leadership and sort of team building shows through in that type of environment?
Tyrese's leadership is really good. With the off-court stuff, especially basketball. He's someone that I look to when I need advice in certain things. He's been through. We went to the same college, so he knows like what he needs to do and what he expects from me. So hearing what I have to do from someone that's like one of the main guys, it's kind of easy because I'm on the court with him. So him telling me what I need to do and what I need to get better at is really helpful. That's it. All righty. Thank you.
Amani over here.
How you doing?
Welcome to Philly. You spent the last 2 years on one of the winningest regular season teams in the league in Cleveland. I'm curious what your experience there has taught you about what is required for a team to win at that sort of level.
I learned a lot in Cleveland, especially just habits, like, watching the guys. It was a routine every day. Winning routines, like just watching them guys wake up every day and be ready for the day, like on time, working out before practice. Like a lot of stuff led into why the season went how it went. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was on the same page each and every day. Film sessions, everybody asked questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was in tune on the defensive side of things. So that kind of led into the game, like winning the season we had.
I guess just for you personally, how are you looking at this opportunity with the Sixers, and I guess what are you kind of trying to show the coaching staff and your new teammates?
Really just trying to show myself that play at a high level, help this team in whichever way I need to. I'm open to go out there and give 110% every day. I know I'm going to work hard, so I don't got to worry about that. But really just go out there and have fun with basketball and be the best version of myself.
Hey, Morey, welcome to Philly.
Appreciate it.
Has there been, there's a number of vets on this roster here, and obviously you're coming from a very talented, experienced, accomplished team. Has there been anyone on this Philly roster who you've kind of tried to, really just go up to, start asking questions, and really kind of get a feel not just for Philly, but also just for this team and what they're trying to accomplish as a unit?
I've been with Drummond all summer. We got the same trainer, Remy. So, that was kind of an easy, vet that I could talk to. PG, I know Paul George, Reese. Kind of seen Reese in high school a lot, not that far age difference. But I know a lot of guys here. J.E., played team final. I played with team final for a year. So it's I know a lot of guys here. So it felt kind of welcoming coming here.
What's up, Amani? When you sort of talk about those winning habits or sort of those routines that allow a team to be really good and sort of stacking those days, give us some examples of some of those things that are, might seem small, but when you sort of stack them on top of each other, it creates those habits.
Just little things like taking care of our bodies. Like everybody was always in treatment. Like Donovan Mitchell, I learned so much from him, just how he carries himself as a professional athlete. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? He's always the first one there, last one to leave the gym, helping others. Even the other players on the team that's not rookies, or he just talks to everybody, motivates everybody. And it's when you got somebody like that, it's easy to follow because it's he's leading us the right way. So it was just watching him, and then it trickled down to everybody else. Max Strus, I watched him a lot, just the routine of just waking up every day and being consistent, nothing changed. And it was like that all 82 games plus the playoffs. So that's kind of how that translated to the, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys.
Hey, Edem, over here. Good to see you again. Just asked Andre earlier about where he's noticed your growth between this time last year and now, and he said really the game was never an issue. It was more your confidence, and that your confidence is night and day. I guess, can you just talk me through how you feel that's happened, how your confidence has gone from where it was 12 months ago to how you feel now?
Yeah, that's a great assessment by him, but I think over the year, my confidence have grown by the playing time, the belief from my teammates and the coaching staff, and also just playing more games. Just being out there, it just builds confidence. It gives you the feeling, the sense of feeling that you belong. So I would say that have helped build my confidence.
What's up, Adem? You obviously have gotten back to Philly later than a lot of guys because of Eurobasket. So just in these couple of days or a week or so that you've been back, just what have you noticed about the pickup games, the workouts, just kind of how have you sort of reacclimated yourself to this group?
It has been amazing since I got back. There's been a lot of energy, a lot of excitement in the gym. Just how I like it. There's a lot of young, like youthfulness in the team. We have a lot of new young guys. It's just been amazing. I was looking forward to coming back, to meeting everyone, meeting my teammates and the coaching staff, and to have lived up to the excitement. Love every bit of it, and I'm excited to see what we can do together.
Hey, Dem. I know the shot is something you've worked on. You took, I think, 1 corner 3 last year. Is that something you're continuing to work on? Is that something you would like to maybe be more done in game action? Is it something the coaching staff has kind of worked with you on?
Growth is constant. I'm gonna keep working on it. It's also a part of the game. Part of my game I would definitely want to improve on. So I'm gonna keep working on it, and eventually we're gonna incorporate it into my game.
Adem, this experience, with the Turkey, that you just came back from, can you kind of just explain in the ways you feel like this opportunity helped you grow and helped you really kind of instill what you have to do to help the team contribute to winning next season?
I think this experience has been amazing for me, to be able to play in that level of basketball, to play in the style of basketball, which is completely different from what I'm used to. Also trying to adapt and incorporate my style of play to the style of play over there. I would say it's a great learning experience for me. And also playing in the games with a high stake, that like every single game matters, every single play, where it's a knockout stage. I think that's really exciting. It kind of prepares me for what's to come in the NBA, where we'll play for higher stake games where every play, every second matters. So I would just say that's a kind of a really preview and a really good experience for me going into this year.
Just one on Janai Broom real quick. I know you probably haven't gotten a great amount of time around him, but yourself being one of the young up-and-coming elite shot blockers in the NBA, Janai obviously a different type of shot blocker, but known for that in his college days. What have you really seen from him in terms of that defensive ability in the moments you've had with Janai?
It's just his willingness. He has had a lot of experience playing basketball in college and now in the NBA. He has the willingness in him. He wants to do everything right. Like after practice, when he does something wrong, he stays back to try to perfect it. So just his willingness to put the work in is really amazing. That's it.
Yo.
What's up, Jabari? Over here. This side.
Okay,
Hello.
okay, hello.
We obviously talked to you right after you signed, but I guess sort of just take us through your off season since then. What have you prioritized? Where do you feel like you kind of most progressed to get you ready for this season?
Yeah, I just worked on my body a lot, put on a lot of muscle, flexibility, just playing through contact, being ready to play off the catch, make quick decisions, and be ready to play solid defense.
You've obviously been here with the guys the last couple of weeks. I guess what has maybe stood out to you, and then has there been anyone that's kind of helped you out, kind of figure out the ropes here and some of the things the team's trying to accomplish?
Yeah, it's been amazing vibes. Just talking to the guys, seeing the life. We have a nice mixture of older guys and younger guys, so you get the best of both worlds. Right away, Andre Drummond has been a guy that just you can sit and talk to about anything. You got Eric Gordon. I've already sat and talked to him about some stuff. So just having like anybody there, we have guys that are willing to just pass along information. So I'm excited to use it as the year goes on.
Jabari, I think opportunity is a fair word that can be used to describe the power forward situation, at least as it pertains to guys like you, Janai, Dominic, everyone. What are you really doing to make sure that you're taking the most of this opportunity that you have in Philadelphia?
Yeah, just staying prepared, putting in the work. Honestly, I think the work was already put in this summer, so I've done my part on that side of things, but it doesn't stop. It continues. So just carrying over what I've already put in and just trying to stay healthy, trying to keep the right mindset because it's a long season.
Follow up on that briefly. You talked about bulking up a little bit. You talked about the kind of competitive nature of the practices and everything like that. And we've heard a lot about the physicality of some of these earlier practices.
Mm-hmm.
What has your experience been like, and how do you enjoy, or maybe not so much enjoy, that kind of environment?
Yeah, this has been different than what I've seen so far, and I think a lot of guys have said the same thing. So that means the results would be different than what we've seen. So I think we have to change something if we want different results. So we're kind of excited about that and the fact that we had so many people here so early competing, doing all these rebound drills, knocking each other down. It's going to make us grow closer together as a group so that we can go out and do that against the opponents.
Jabari, I believe your rookie year in Portland, you played with Trendan Watford.
Mm-hmm.
What stands out about his game to you? What is he like as a teammate? How excited are you to reunite with him?
Yeah, just him being like a big guard, his pace, his physicality, never really rushed. I think that's something I like to take from his game, and just him as a person, goofy. We've always connected, so I think we've just built that connection here, and he's somebody I can talk to.
Go.
Testing.
Hey, Kelly, how you doing? Good to
Doing
see
all
you.
right. You as well.
You mentioned at the end of last season a hand or wrist injury that you said has been bothering you since you left Charlotte, and that you were hoping to get that treated. I guess, did you get that treated? How are you feeling now? You mentioned you thought that might be contributing to lower shooting percentages. Like, do you feel like those percentages are going to go up this year?
Well, start off, I have had surgery on my left pinky and my thumb as well. Different years, different surgeries, of course. But so I got hurt the first time during like COVID, around that area, around that time, and the rehab process was very kind of non-existent because the world shut down. So I built up a lot of scar tissue in those areas, and then in my thumb as well, I have a brace. And yeah, so yes, I did attack that really hard this summer. I was able to see my old therapist. Her name is Mo. Shout out Mo. She's amazing. And yeah, get some more range of motion in my wrist, in my hand, in my fingers, get my fingers straighter. So yeah, I would say so. But just got to put the ball in the hole, and then you guys can talk about it when I do.
Hey, Kelly, how was your summer?
It was good.
Good.
Good to see you, man.
Thinking back to that injury, and you talked about it, is there any potential that if you go through the season and you're still not quite feeling it, is some type of non-invasive surgery potentially an option for you, or is it really just so much as put in whatever work you can to make it the best it is?
Yeah, I've actually saw the doctor who did it, and this summer as well, just to go over everything, to let him know how I'm healing and everything, and we thought about taking the brace out of my thumb. But it's just I'm gonna take that out, gain some range, but lose something on the back end somewhere else. So it's not really worth it. And over these years, I've been able to overcompensate, and my body does a good job of adapting to less flexion and range of motion. So I've been just figuring it out, honestly. But with this range, I have to rewrite the patterns in my brain of shooting how I used to before all of these things. And yeah, I'm just a hooper, man. I'm just looking forward to going out there and making it work. Yeah, the triumph will be better than the adversity for sure.
And then just one follow-up just on the physicality, some of these earlier practices. You're a guy who obviously competitive fire, that's a key part of your game. How have you specifically enjoyed these kind of high-intensity practices?
Like you said, the word fire, it's like, we've just been thrown into the fire right before camp. And that's all I can ask for. Just to get us used to, we have a lot of guys who have never played in the NBA, right? Or has never, played at a high level like this. So just to get out there, run, play physical, show, these guys what it's like to just be mentally tough and mentally strong, because you still got to go out there and perform. So we're going to play a lot of teams who that's their identity. And although it was a little, foot skid-ballish, it doesn't matter. This is us just getting to know each other, and it was fun for me because the pace picked up, the intensity was there, and everybody just pushed each other to get better. So I think we got closer within these past couple of weeks.
Kelly over here. What's going on?
Hi.
Good to see you.
You as well.
I will address this social media aspect of your off season. Just that post that you made a couple of weeks ago. Just what prompted you to do that, and just how do you feel now about being here, being on this team, Philly, just heading into this season?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to apologize for the things that I say, because nobody's going to do the same to me. But at the end of the day, it was just an accumulation of lack thereof discussion, or kind of Xing me out of the equation. And, I'm here. I'm all in. I wear this jersey for a reason. It's because I want to. So therefore, it was just kind of like the fan pages and all the people who represent the Sixers, not in this building, of course. It was just something to just let you guys know that I'm still here, and I'm not here to fit in. I'm here to stand out and, help this team the best that I possibly can. So it was just, that's all I'm going to say about that. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to growing and continue to helping everybody else grow and develop, and just being the best version of myself for this team and this organization and this city. So, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, what's up, Gil? Hey, Ben.
What's up, man? How you doing?
My man, how are you? I'm actually curious, what you kind of seen from VJ so far, just in these early kind of off-season workouts, of physicality that you guys have kind of been playing with. How has he kind of stood out to you in a way?
Very mature, for his age, very physical. He has a good size and a good build to him. God bless you. He was very athletic, and the sky is beyond the limit for him because, you know, he has a good head on his shoulders and he has a lot of hunger inside of him. So I'm really looking forward to just flying with him and running these wings and, you know, just being versatile as well. So I think that, you know, and he works very hard as well. So I think that there's no, you can't pinpoint his potential. It's like kind of through the roof as long as he keeps his head on his shoulders, he keeps his ego in check, you know, because that's a big thing too. You know, with more responsibility comes more expectation, of course. So, yeah, I'm here to help him. I'm happy to be alongside him.
Kelly, back over here. You and Nick, on a few occasions last year, talked about you slowing down a bit as a driver, playing off of 2 feet more. It seemed like you were making better decisions. You got to that little short paint jumper that you seem to like. I guess, how do you feel that alteration to your style sort of changes your outlook on the floor, and is it something that you're hoping to continue adopting this year?
Yeah, my trainer Drew and I, we actually attacked that very hard this summer, just slowing down because he showed me like a montage of just my lowlights from last year, and it was all me just going 100 miles an hour, kind of brainless. So, you know, just working on just slowing the game down, making the proper reads, shooting good shots, not bad shots, and yeah, just making my game look better because I have the talent, I have the skill. It's just about putting it all together and slowing down in order for it to look digestible for the fans and everybody else. So, yeah, that's a big emphasis still because that's the evolution of my game. I'm going into year 11, but I'm still developing like I'm in year 1, which in my head, I'm always going to be a beginner to stay a student of the game. So I'm excited.
What's up, Kelly? How are you?
Doing all right, man.
Tyrese talked at length earlier about one of his major goals is to set a consistent standard so that it doesn't matter who's in or out of the lineup. Like when you watch the Sixers, this is what it looks like. What do you think that standard should look like for you guys every night? Like what in your mind does that look like?
Honestly, man, that question speaks to identity, right? We have to create that identity that is never going to waver and never going to falter. It's being tough, you know, being physical, just being disciplined as well, and you know, just us finding our core foundational values as a team that no matter what or no matter who, everybody's on the same page. So I can't go into detail, but this camp will allow us to set those things in play, and we go out and compete against other teams and do work on the things that we're saying that we want to do. So I'm all in. We'll have a lot of conversations. We'll have a lot of battles on the court, and then we'll figure it out, and then you guys will see that, and we'll hold ourselves to that standard.
So, Kelly, the red hair is a new look. What inspired that?
My hair's red? Oh, no, I didn't even know. No, but I just wanted to change it up. Just wanted to, you know, just bring that fire that's inside of me outside a little bit so that you guys feel me when you see me play. And then, yeah, just, I don't know, it's a different level of steez unlocked, you know.
Kelly, I got to ask, you know, you've talked for so much of your career talking about being like water, you know, now you're talking about bringing out that fire, you know. Are we sensing a theme about where, you know, your career is continuing to go? And
I don't really know. I just want to evolve, man. I want to unlock my full potential, but, like, I'm a very mellow person off the court. But obviously when I get on the court, yeah, I'm very fiery. So I guess you could say like the movie Elemental. Yeah, so on the court, fire. Off the court, water. But at the end of the day, if I could evolve into meshing all of that stuff together throughout my whole existence in life, I'll be happy.
And how do you kind of show that message to some of the other teams, some of the younger guys like a Justin Edwards, you know, show them how to kind of release their own inner fire?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different generation, right? So it's like we all have gone through different things in life and have different stories. So I've had a rough road and a tough one, but in order to be able to still be here, I had to kind of figure those things out, and which is I can give them my stories or the things that I've went through just so they can hear that and be like, oh, okay, so we're kind of all the same in a sense, and this is how I handle these things now, but I had to learn. So they're going to have to learn throughout their journey, but I'm here to not let them learn the hard way like I did for some things, right? So, yeah.
Hey, Kelly. last year there was a lot of roster turnover, a lot of different guys coming in and out. This year it seems like the core's pretty much coming back. You maintained a lot of that, but I guess how much has that helped, comparatively, like from last year to this year, just having all these guys here and you guys all kind of gelling already?
Yeah, I mean, we've already kind of, we've already played and went to battle together, so that helps for sure. But this is day-by-day thing, right? Like, it's not something that I could sit here and say, like, oh, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to be this, and not. Like, we have to attack every day as a new day, as a new challenge. Every game as a new day, as a new challenge. And we have to continue to, stick to our foundation and our morals as a team and as a unit and be all on the same page no matter what, no matter who's out there. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, man, we have had a good pre-camp. I'm looking forward to camp for us to go, to war against each other and then take that same war to other teams. So it's going to be fun, man, but I'm happy to still be here and still be running alongside of these amazing guys. Big love, man. All right.
What's up, man?
How we doing?
All right, yourself. So what have you worked on since Summer League?
I say the biggest thing I've been working on is just consistency with my shooting, figuring out how to get open, taking the right shots. But a lot of it has just been, learning different schemes, trying to fit in within the offense, fit in playing with other great players. It's been going good.
You were a McDonald's All-American in high school. You went to Gonzaga, and then you transferred to Wake. Your junior year, you shot the ball extremely well, extremely athletic. What do you think fans here can know about your game that they don't know already?
Yeah, the biggest thing is I feel like I'm one of those guys that can do anything a coach asks me to do. And I think at this level is huge. And I think I can, knock down open shots, guard the ball at a high level, just do different things like that. And, just be a big energy guy. I feel like that's a good thing for me coming into this league and, a good way to prove myself.
Hey, Hunter, over here. This guy might be the answer to this question, the question that I had, but are there any vets that you've particularly kind of bonded with so far, or just what are the biggest things you've learned from some of your new teammates maybe during this sort of pre-camp process since you guys all came back into market?
I love Drum, man. That's my guy. But, all of the vets have been great so far. They've been very welcoming. And I've just been, trying to learn from each and every one of them. And but yeah, they've definitely took me under their wing and just kind of trying to show me the ropes. Thank you, guys.
That wanted to draft you in the second round.
Yeah.
What was it about the 76ers that made you decide to not get drafted in order to sign with them a two-way contract?
I say just, like their history with other, undrafted guys. Nurse is a great coach, a great guy. And, there's just great people around this program, and that was something that I wanted to be a part of. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Good to be back, getting ready to go. First day of practice tomorrow, so we're excited for that. I just want to talk a little bit about, as a coach, you kind of live your summers on what happened last season, right? And to be honest, there was a lot of piss offedness in my summer this year, and I think you guys all understand why it was not what we wanted to have happen, how we wanted it to go, what the expectations were, all that stuff. A very difficult season, and you carry that into the summer. And I always kind of told you guys this before. The first thing that I always know that a solution to a problem is hard work and getting to work. So the summer was spent with a lot of evaluation, a lot of hard work, obviously draft, summer league, workouts, all those kind of things. But what we squeezed, I think, out of the summer from a work perspective, and what we squeezed out of the players from getting on the floor and getting ready to go to getting to today, really, really happy with. I think I sense their pissed offedness too, right? And wanting to make sure that doesn't happen again. So that's where we are leading into tomorrow. And again, we look forward to getting to work in an official capacity tomorrow and getting this season started.
Yeah, I echo what Coach said. All of us are hungry to show the city what we can do again. We know that last season wasn't one that we can be proud of, and we want the city to be proud of us again. I walk around Center City every day. I see the excitement of the Eagles. I see the Phillies playoffs. This offseason was about working every day to get ourselves back to being in those conversations. And we're excited about the guys we've added. We're excited about the key things that we've done this summer from a roster perspective to give Coach more tools. But we know that we're at the point where we've got to go out there and show it. No one's really interested about anything until we can turn the page and put a lot of wins up on the board and show the city that we're the 76ers everyone knows we can be. So, questions?
Hi, Daryl. At exit interviews last year, you said that you guys needed to hit the ground running this year, and that started with you and setting a better tone, and you didn't set a good enough tone at the start of last year. So I'm curious, now that we're here, what does that look like? How can you set a better tone for the group?
Yeah, I think that's the whole group, and I think I'll give a lot of credit to the players and the coaching staff. Obviously, the off season is voluntary, but the leadership that our players have put in over the summer, putting in the daily work, has been the best I've seen in my career. And it's really created a togetherness. And to your point, I hit the ground running, and obviously that's a question for Coach. But because the guys have been here voluntary and putting in the work, our first day of practice, I don't think it's going to feel like a first day of practice. It's going to feel like a continuation of all the time they've put in to here.
Coach Nurse, Daryl, hi guys. It's pretty obvious from listening to all the players who've spoken that there's a lot of enthusiasm going into this year. At the same time, Joel candidly expressed a very day-to-day approach. Paul's recovering from his procedure, and Jared unfortunately had his injury yesterday after being injured last year. The injuries have really been a big problem for you guys, not just last season, but the season before. So what are you guys doing this year to avoid all of those injuries?
Well, I think, frankly, some injuries are fluky, right? I mean, Jared's couldn't have been more more fluky. You're going to have those, and we're still working with doctors to see when he'll be back. I think one of the reasons why it was good for you to hear from all the players. We thought it was best for you to hear from all the players, especially our key players. We're in constant consultation with them and doctors, and they're working their ass off to get back out there. And there are still a few boxes to be checked, as you heard from them, but it won't be for lack of trying. They're going to be out there, and one of the things to specifically answer your question though is youth generally does help injuries. Obviously, Jared's yesterday; he's young, but youth generally have fewer injuries, and we're right there. I think we're tied for number of players under 25 in the league, with 10 or 11, something like that. So we did want to inject a lot of youth into this roster so we can manage through injuries better as well.
If I may quickly follow up, what are your expectations for when Joel and Paul will be ready to play in games?
Yeah, I think and I think you heard it from them, and this is straight from the doctors. We're not getting into the expectations game. The doctor's advice, what Joel said on listening to his body, which is a big component, and how doctors manage injuries. That's going to be what carries the day this year.
Nick, I guess I'll follow up on that question. Just what did you learn last year, just because there's still so much uncertainty about Joel and Paul and their health moving forward? What did you learn last year about how to navigate all of that day to day and game by game, and how will you sort of take that into both tomorrow but then moving forward as well?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I think, Gina, we've talked about this stuff a lot, right? Almost every time there's another injury or the game missed or whatever is I think that Daryl mentions the youth that we have. I think we talked about being a little more athletic, a little faster, a little younger, a little quicker up and down the floor, and maintaining a style of play, whether who's in or who's out. Next guy's got to plug in there, right, and be able to fit in with the system and create the system of like we want to do. I just think we need to run better, right? I know that sounds kind of basic, but we need to be able to run back better so we can get our defense set. We need to be able to use that same speed and quickness to push forward better, right? I think you'll see a lot more of that the defense we play is kind of pressure based and certainly turnover based, right? Even with 40 different players last year, we still end up third or fourth in the league in creating turnovers. Like, it's still part of what we want to do, but I think you'll see a lot more flying around, and that shouldn't change, right? That shouldn't change as much, right? And I think that's kind of part one. Part two would be I think mentally everybody's got to understand, like, this is where we are. We know there's going to be games missed. Like, every team has players missing games, and we need to just be able to, like, forge forward immediately, right? Like if you want to take the punch in the gut for a second, that's fine. That's all you got is a second, his guy's out, whatever. But let's forge forward. Let's do it together, right? Let's make sure that the style of play and the effort, being prepared to go play the game, all that stuff stays at a really high level. Yeah.
Nick, I know you talked about, you just want to get guys out there in a certain style of play. But Joel is an extremely integral part of what you do, and PG is as well. You guys only had 15 games last season with the Big Three playing. How much does this set you guys back, especially going into training camp, not knowing, when they're going to come back? Maybe you guys do know when they're coming back, but you don't have these guys just like you didn't have them last year, and you started out 2-12 and had a tough time recovering from that.
Well, it hasn't set us back at all, right? And we're not going to let it set us back, right? Like we've again reiterate how much work we've done this summer. I think again we've added some youth speed, quickness, athleticism that we feel really good about. There's a lot of guys that we know, I think, that can be in a rotation on a good NBA team, right? So we're just gonna keep working tomorrow. I mean, I know it's officially get to work tomorrow, but get to work tomorrow and establish this style of play. Make sure that we're giving tremendous effort each and every day and playing extremely hard each and every night.
And I guess, Daryl, for you, how confident are you that you could get something resolved with Quentin?
I think NBA rules don't let me characterize. I will say I think we will get to a resolution in the next few days, hopefully. But we're excited to bring him back. Quentin's a big part of what we're trying to do now and into the future if we can get things resolved.
It seemed like perhaps at times last year the team wasn't equipped to play as well without Joe and Paul, even though given Joe's injury history, it seemed like that should be kind of a given. He's going to miss a lot of times. Do you really feel like what kind of team can you guys be when you have to face the prospect this year, likely, of playing without Joel for a stretch and perhaps without Joe and Paul for if that happens for a stretch?
Who do you want to answer that? Can either you want? Were you either one? There? No.
I'll give quick, and
go
then
ahead.
you can jump in. We like the pieces we've added, but we are going last year was a little unique. I mean, I think you look at any team where you lose, it's not just one or two or three, but 4 or 5. I mean, I think at times last year we were without 5 to 7 of our players. We went into the season thinking we're going to be our key players last year. We're going to need a little better luck than that, if this be frank. But we also feel like we've buffered things better with youth and some new pieces. Like one of them just walked in here, Watford. We think Watford can give us a lot this season. So we feel like we've added pieces, and we are coming into the year. I know it maybe doesn't feel that way, with a better situation on the health side, and then we're better able to sustain it.
Daryl stole my answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey guys, hey
Kept
Daryl.
going.
Hey Nick. Daryl, it's for you. Just kind of bigger picture. What's for you the goal? Excuse me, the goal of the team right now. There was clearly a championship window that you tried to take advantage of last year. Is that still where you're at? Have you pivoted? I know you love your championship odds. Are you still looking at those?
Yeah, look, I think we've collectively, and this has been great messaging from coach to our veteran leaders on down, and we're talking about just winning the day. 1% better every day is a Tyrese phrase he uses. We realize we're in the prove it phase. I don't think it really matters what we're saying up here on our expectations at this point. We just need to go out there and prove it, be better every day, and show the city and show the fans that we're back in the conversation.
I just reiterate, we gotta earn our way back into this thing, man. Right? We gotta work and earn our way back into getting in the tournament. That's where we are.
Nick, I know you'll learn a lot more about VJ and what his role might look like after camp and preseason and whatnot, but having had him with your staff over the summer, I guess, initial read, how do you think you're going to use him offensively from day one, and what are you looking to help him with the most early on?
Yeah. Well, first of all, he's got a lot of really good qualities, and one of the qualities he has is he's got a really good engine or gas tank, whatever you wanna, and that means he's able to put in the work, a lot of work in a day, and come back and do it again, and do it again and do it again. There's not much wavering, if any at all, on his day-to-day work ethic, right? So that's a great place to start when you're a young player. You ask me how do I think I'm going to use him. I think I'm going to use him on the ball, and I think I'm going to use him off the ball. I think that will go for a number of our guys. There'll be some on-ball, off-the-ball stuff. What does he need to improve on? He has a pretty good tempo and feel right now. I really am impressed with that. He athletically does things every single day that pop off the page, and you're going to be like, how did he get from here to here, or from there to there, or whatever? We really went to work on his shooting kind of from day 2 after we drafted him, and he's made some great strides there. I think success for him this year is minutes. At the end of the year, how many minutes did he play? Because we need to let him ride through some of the rookie ups and downs, young rookie ups and downs, let him play through some mistakes. But there's a lot of positives that we've seen so far.
I guess there's a executive and coach kind of component to this. You mentioned, the intentionality of your messaging, and Tyrese was up here talking about culture and kind of building a program, and that can be tough to do when you're changing your roster kind of every year. And this year you actually have kind of the pieces where you can look at guys and say there might be 5, 6, 7 guys who are here 4 or 5 years from now. Was that a conscious effort organizationally on your part?
Yeah, just to want to get younger. Obviously, have guys that hopefully can grow and build. With our top veterans. Absolutely was an intentional part of it, both with the roster and outside of it. We evaluated every department, coach and I, and have made, a lot of the stuff are behind the scenes, tweaks or way more than tweaks, but, from A to Z, how do we turn the page and make sure, we have a championship approach in everything we're doing, and that did result in a lot of changes, a lot of painful changes, on the roster and outside, but we thought they were the right thing.
What's it like? I guess the 2 timelines kind of notion is a little oversimplified, but I mean, as a coach, what's it like? You do have 2 completely different teams with Joel and Paul out there, and with kind of your young guys, with Tyrese kind of being the veteran of that young group of guys. How do you handle that as a coach? Is that how do you balance that?
Did you get some new glasses? I like them.
Thanks, man. Thanks. They're not new, but
they look good.
Well, thanks.
That's the first time I've seen you.
Appreciate it.
Listen, I think Daryl kind of touched on this before. Is that we're hoping it's not so drastically different, right? And I think that if it's just one guy, and then we can keep kind of 80% of the starting lineup there, and maybe 80% or 100% of the rotation there. That again, I think, offense shifts, shots shift, responsibility shift, rim protection shift. There's some shifts, but they're a little easier to manage. So I think that's probably the goal, right? And that's what we'll shoot for. We'll get to work on tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I also have a question for Coach Nurse. So we have asked Tyrese about this, but I'm also curious about your perspective on this take as the head coach, because if you look at the roster this year, we noticed the nature of a guard-heavy roster. So we have Kyle, we have Tyrese, we have VJ, who can all bring the ball, handle the ball, make plays. I know it's a good thing to have all those talents, but I'm also curious about, from your perspective, what does it mean to have so many guards? How are you going to coach them, and what does that mean for the game? In terms of how you're going to shape this game this year, offensively and defensively.
Yeah. Good question. I think that it's what I would reiterate again is it should give us an ability to play a little faster for a couple reasons, right? The guards can They can move, they can get back, they can run backward, they can run forward, they can go side to side, but also it should be able to keep energy up with some shorter stints just because of the sheer numbers. I think there's some versatility there. Again, you mentioned some guy, I mentioned it as well, but some guys can play combo positions. I mean, I could see VJ, for instance, playing some 1, and I could also see him playing some 3, and maybe a four guard rotation at times. You know, it's happening in this league now, right? There's a lot of teams playing 4 guards at once. So I think we need to be versatile enough to match up against those teams. I think we have the possibility of pushing guys both directions. So that would be the answer. Yeah.
Hey, Daryl, Nick. Daryl, you mentioned listening to the doctors when it comes to Joel. What have the doctors told you, and how confident are you that the issues that were plaguing him throughout last season have been resolved going into this one?
When I say doctors, and I mentioned we've looked to add and make changes where we need anywhere, and adding Dr. Glashow into the the team that's working with Joel has been a real positive. We had a good team before, and I think Dr. Glashow has really added. I think, look, again, we're in sort of the prove it phase, and in that I don't want to like set up that that we have, except for the boxes we're going to check and the doctor's advice we're going to follow. That's really all we know. But I would say Joel, in his own words, had some positive things, and he's the most important person in this. And what he's saying in terms of, like, I think he directly said, "I feel good," and that's really important, and what we're sort of building on as he gets to those final phases of 5-on-5 and things like that.
And Nick, what would be different about how you manage him this year as opposed to last season?
I hope a lot, meaning that he's playing a lot more. I think that's what we all want, right? I think there was not a whole lot of management. He didn't play a lot and wasn't allowed to play a lot, and his body wasn't allowing him to be out there. I hope there's some management issues where we're trying to figure out when he's playing, when he's not playing, and it's going on for a long time. That's what we're all hoping for. So do have a little experience with that from the past of kind of trying to see what it looks like as the season goes on. So we call some of those experience, but I hope there is a lot more management this year for sure. I think
Nick,
there will be. Yeah.
Sorry, Nick,
Yeah,
over
sorry.
here. Good to see you again. You just talked about the team's guard mix. I'm curious about the power forward spot. Paul told us earlier that he'd be open to playing there more than he would have been 10 years ago, he said.
Yep.
You played him there quite a bit. I'm curious, first of all, do you plan to play him there regularly? And how do you see the rest of that group, whether that's Trendan or Jabari or anyone else, sort of fitting in?
Is that still a position in the NBA?
He sort of
Power
had a similar
forward?
comment.
Listen, I think, again, as the game continues to evolve really quickly, 2, 3, 4 is so interchangeable, so much 4 out, 5 out. I just want to make sure that we get the best players on the floor. Again, that we get and if it means playing 4 or 2, however it lands that day or whoever we're playing, we do it, right? I really believe in trying to get the best players on the floor, and positions don't matter nearly as much, I think.
And centers, I think, still do exist.
Yeah, there you go.
How do you view the depth
Give you
chart behind Joel? How much did you see from Adem last year? Does it lead you to believe he can handle a regular rotation role for a competitive team, and then guys like Andre and Broom, and even I don't know if you see Barlow as an option at the 5?
Great time of year to ask that, leading into training camp. I expect it to be a great competition for that spot. I just really want to see it all play out and just watch them kind of fight it out in the next month or so.
All right, Coach. Hi.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Tony?
How you doing?
Speaking of power forwards, and what's the uniqueness of having a guy like Trendan who can handle the ball, who can initiate offense, especially, being outside, makes you a little outside in terms of being able to bring Tyrese off of screens or VJ off of screens while he's initiating up top. And is that the sort of kind of versatility that you wanted to kind of add to this season?
He's a point forward. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. He is versatile, right? Like we like it. He's a guy that can run the floor and sprint to the corner and finish a layup, or he can grab the rebound, bring it himself, get you into the offense. Great vision, right? Sees the floor, draws defenders, finds the right plays, and then he can score a bucket too when you need him to. So we like it. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he's here. Yeah, I've liked him for a while, so I'm glad he's here. Yeah, that's good. I was going to say, I've been on you for a while.
Nick's been on us for a while, and that's he's seen him as a good fit for a while, and we did try to trade for him, never quite worked, but we were able to sign him, so we're happy.
Hey, Nick, over here.
Yep. How you doing?
Hey, doing all right. Rebounding, especially defensive rebounding, has been a real weakness. If you're going to be a guard-heavy team that continues to care about forcing turnovers, what's the approach to improving that area?
Yeah, I think, again, it's going to be everybody's going to have to be involved. It's going to be a collective effort, right? It's going to be something we really need to not only plan well, like what's the plan, and then it's going to be something we need to drill well, right? As well, it's going to be something we definitely need to focus in on. Yeah.
Nick, you talked about your own level of pissed offedness that you had over the summer, and I think that's something going back. We saw that through Tyrese, we saw that through Eric, basically everybody. Mm-hmm. How do you kind of communicate to these guys? And we've heard about these physical practices. Mm-hmm. How do you transform that pissed offedness and mold it into productivity and into determination?
Well, really good word you ended with there is it should make us more determined. I think I see that, like, and it goes in a lot of things. Like, you've been around. If you had been around here at all lately, you're hearing me talk about conditioning and getting in great shape and how hard they're getting pushed in the weight room, and lots of those things that kind of enable you to play with some toughness, physicality, push through when you think you're tired that you're not, right? And that's the kind of thing that I think we take care of some of that stuff. I just want to, like, listen, I want you to walk away from the game and saying, Jesus, they played their asses off tonight. That's it. Yeah.
And then just the last point for you both. I know it just happened and not everything's known about McCain's status. Has anything been ruled out in terms of worst case scenario for recovery time or anything there?
No, he's still consulting with specialists. With the hand, there's doctors specialize in everything, but it always seems like hand injuries are very specialized. So still gathering that feedback, but we know Jared's going to attack this just like he did the last one and be back even better. So.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right.
doing all right.
Hey, Trendan, over here. When we talked to you in Vegas with Tyrese, you talked about how you guys have played against each other so often and you've been so close, but you've never gotten to play together. Nick was just telling us that he's been bothering Daryl about trying to get you for years. I guess just is this a full circle moment for you to be here and to be playing with Tyrese? And in these runs that you guys have had here, I'm sure you've shared the floor with him quite a bit. And what has that been like? How have you been able to play off of him and the other guards on this team?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a full circle moment. Like you said, just we pretty much, I mean, we've known each other pretty much since about the 8th grade, and I've always played against him. Like even when he was at Kentucky and I was at LSU, and even in McDonald's All-American games and things of that nature. But we was just never on the same team. So it's crazy, and it's a full circle moment, man. Just to be in here competing with him every day, and seeing his approach every day to how he attacks his day. So it's great, and I'm glad we're on the same team now.
Someone you have played with is Jabari Walker. His rookie year in Portland, you were teammates with him. What stood out to you about your experience with him then? How have you seen him grow since then? What should Sixers fans expect to see from him when he's on the floor?
Yeah. I mean, it's just great to see him, 3 years later now, used to the league, used to the NBA now, and, obviously he had, 3 good years in Portland, and, now he's looking to, take advantage of his opportunity again, and, just being his teammate back then, I know how hard he worked. Obviously, he's a great rebounder, energetic guy, can shoot it, can do a lot of things on the floor. So it's it's another full circle moment with us being back on the same team.
Hey, what's up, Trendan?
What's going on?
So I know the team's been here last couple of weeks playing runs, workouts, whatever it is. What is kind of the physicality, I guess, been like, and the competitiveness, kind of getting ready for camp, heading into this weekend?
Man, it's been great. It's a lot of healthy competition in here. A lot of guys getting after it. Even yesterday was guys getting a little chippy in there, being competitive, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. Like I said, we got a lot of younger guys, a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that's sort of in the middle where me and Tyrese are. And then some of the older guys. So I think it's a good mix, and we all competing. We all competing, trying to do what we can do to get an opportunity to play. So it's been great, and it's all going good.
Brendan, over here, how's it going?
How you doing?
I mean, versatility is obviously a big asset in your game and something that many people have talked about since you got here. But now that you have gotten some time around your new teammates in these workouts and pickup games and stuff, just where do you most see that versatility being valuable with this specific group?
I mean, pretty much anywhere, honestly. Me being able to rebound and being able to push the pace. I think that's one of the things I pride myself on, being able to rebound, push the pace. Make plays for myself and others, and I think I'm gonna be able to do that a lot here. And obviously that was big. That was eye opening for me, just having that opportunity and having that role that Coach Nurse has spoke to me about, and being able to use me at a lot of positions and being able to just do a lot of things on the floor. I think I'll be able to contribute to a lot and contribute to winning here.
Trendan, right. I'm sorry.
It's all right. My bad. I can see. It's all good.
I'm short. What kind of a unique question. What impact did your brother have on you? And watching him play at Indiana, watching him hit that famous shot over at Kentucky. I mean, especially the fact that you guys turned out to actually be similar players. So, what kind of impact growing up did that kind of have on you?
Big time. Just chasing him around at a young age, AAU tournaments, high school games, and then, seeing high-level basketball at a young age, it really impacted me going to watch him play on the road at Ohio State, play at Kentucky, play in some of the loudest college arenas I've been in, even to this day, with the team that they had back then being number one in the country. And seeing everybody, wanting to beat them, man, it was it had a great impact on me, and it inspired me a lot, to do the same, to play at a high level, to with him going undrafted after having a pretty good college career, 4 years at Indiana, but seeing him going undrafted just motivated me to to come and play at a high level also, and make my name in the NBA and stick in the NBA. So that's a great question. He's definitely impacting me a lot.
Trendan, piggybacking off Gina's question a little bit, you're known as a very versatile guy, can do like a little bit of everything. Is that something you kind of relish, like the fact that you kind of can't be put into a box or a single position, that you can kind of cover a lot of different, tick a lot of different boxes on the court?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I cherish, man. Just being able to, like you said, being able to do a lot of things, not being able to be put in a box. I think that's a luxury as a player that you want, is to not be put in a box and be limited to doing a certain thing and being able to play a certain position. So I think it benefits me, man, just being able to play whatever position I need to play or whatever position coach wants me to play. So I think it's been very beneficial.
Trendan, to kind of put you in that box of not being able to be put in a box, that's something that, I mean, Nick Nurse's ears have got to be ringing, hearing about what you can do, what you can bring to the game. It's exactly what he's been preaching since he got here, pushing the pace, securing the rebound, versatile, defensively. How's your relationship with Nick specifically been since you came to Philly?
Oh, it's been good. We've had some conversations, even though, he called me the first day of free agency himself, and we spoke, and we've had a few talks since then, and man, it's been going good. Like you said, him raving about my versatility, and I think that's something that he's gonna like, and I think that's something that I'm gonna like. Just me being able to be out there, and him being able to plug me in at different spots, and be able to do a lot of things, and he's watched me over my career at Brooklyn and even at Portland. So he's pretty familiar with my game. So appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Dominic over here. You were obviously a late addition to the Summer League team, kind of jumped in and started learning on the fly. In the time since then, what have sort of been your biggest priorities this offseason, getting acclimated to this group? Just kind of take us through what things have looked like since then.
Yeah, like the biggest thing since then has just been getting better and learning the guys that don't come around, like building relationships, starting to build those. We've been together a lot in the summer. Everyone's kind of been in the gym pretty much the whole time, especially like the young group. So we've just been working out and getting to know each other, and I think the relationships that we've built have been great so far.
Dom, there's an opportunity for some of you guys to who can play that power forward position. And we talked about how it's not really a power forward position in the game anymore, but to fill those needs of size and this and that. What do you feel you kind of bring differently that can give you kind of some opportunity here in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I think just like relentless energy. Play the game really hard, defend multiple positions, worked a lot, shooting the basketball this summer, do stuff, some things off the bounce, and just being a connector. I played a little bit in like that short roll hub kind of position when I've been in Atlanta and San Antonio. So just understanding that and how I can help guys, continue to do what they do, like knowing that Joel, Tyrese, all these guys, like they're gonna score the ball. They don't need somebody to come in and do that, but how can I affect the game in other ways?
I actually asked you this at Summer League, but is this a full circle moment for you in terms of, just growing up in the city and, playing for the Sixers?
Yeah, just being so close to home, it's been surreal, like having all my family and friends call me and telling me, they're coming to this game, they're coming to that game. So trying to figure that out now so that's not like a thing during the season where I got to like have energy towards that. But yeah, it's a blessing to be able to be so close to home, where I grew up and, play basketball here in this city. And I know like how the people are. I know the fans are, and super passionate people. You know, I kind of grew up living like towards that, so I can relate to it on like a deeper level.
In addition to being close to home, what was what really stood out to you? Because, you know, you're a guy who played several league, 3-4 years in the league. You could have had like a standard contract, but what lured you to signing a two-way deal with the Sixers?
Just understanding that there's opportunity here. Just looking, you know, kind of how we are, how we built, just and all the things that me and Coach Nurse and Daryl have talked about in terms of the things that I do well that can help the team. I just felt like it was the best opportunity to, you know, be in a rotation for a long period of time and, you know, have a situation where I'm not thinking about, you know, am I going to be playing today? Am I going to be in the G League tomorrow? Like, just understanding that if I do the things I'm supposed to do, I can play here and help this team win. Cool. Appreciate it.
Hey, Janai, good to see you. I'm just curious, since the summer league experience wrapped up for you, I guess, first of all, what did you take away from that experience? But also, what has been your biggest focus in terms of skill development or your body since summer league wrapped up?
You know, summer league was a good experience for me. Just kind of getting used to playing in a format of NBA. Obviously not the NBA yet, but it's kind of similar. But it was kind of good, you know, playing with some of my teammates and just kind of getting used to it. I think my biggest focus during the preseason and camp has been just, you know, working on my body, you know, getting in better shape, continuing to work on my jump shot, just continue to get better and soak in all the knowledge I can.
Janai, you talked about, you know, getting acclimated to the NBA and you're not quite playing games yet, but we've heard about how physical these practices are. You know, obviously you played physical in college, but it's a step up to, you know, these NBA practices and then to the NBA. But have these practices taught you anything about your game, maybe an area that you need to work on that you weren't as familiar with before these practices?
I think it's a lot of areas I can grow in. You know, just you know, being in better positioning, spacing the floor a little bit better, kind of just simple things. You know, kind of relocating the spaces, offensively, on defensive side, getting the spots quicker because you have better players, you have better guys coming to the rim. You got to meet them a little bit better, make them make another extra pass, give an extra effort. Like a coach kind of preaches a lot is to make an extra effort to make the offense react one more time and have to pass it one more time. But I think Predators have been good so far. They've been very competitive. They've been very physical. I think that's a good sign.
Just to follow up on that, we're obviously getting this phase of positionless basketball in the NBA. In these early runs, you're versatile kind of as a big. What have you really been kind of doing positionally, and what have you kind of been doing in terms of role in some of these practices?
I've been playing on the perimeter, and I've been playing in the short corner. I've been playing, both 4 and 5. Like you say, it's kind of positionless. I got to rebound. I got to make shots. I got to play good defense. I got to defend ball screens wherever I'm out on the court. So I think it's just more so, just learning the offense at multiple positions and being able to play and be able to be efficient on the court.
Janai, back over here. It seems like you have really good sort of passing chops for a big man. I'm curious, first of all, how you develop that and also how you view that translating onto a team like this with a lot of really good guard play, and if that's sort of been apparent to you in these early runs that you've had, that's something you can utilize on this team.
I think it's just being a student of the game, watching a lot of film, and just, loving the game of basketball. And, just wanting to make the right play, wanting to make the right read. And a lot of that came from me getting double teamed a lot in college. So you got to find an open person. I think I just kind of developed that and just kind of worked on that a lot. And like you say, this team's guard play is very good. We have a lot of good guards, a lot of good wings, a lot of good bigs and forwards. So I think, passing is something that will be needed on this team. And when you're passing to guys who are going to make open shots, that's even better.
You mentioned being double teamed. Obviously, when healthy, that happens a lot for Joel Embiid. What have just been your early impressions of him and his game in these practices and workouts?
He's great. He practiced the other day, and I had to guard him. He kind of scored a couple in a row. But that's what you kind of expect. You play good defense, and he has better offense. That's the type of player he is. But I'm glad that I'm going against him in practice, and I'm going to have him on my side during the year because he's a great person to learn from. And he's very open to talk to you about things that you need to improve on and things like that. So I think he's becoming he's a good part of me being a rookie and somebody I can learn from. Thank you.